English podcast from English Podcast with FTJ class. Hey, English learners! Welcome back to the English Podcast with FTJ, your go-to podcast for learning English and improving your life. I'm Fatima.
And I'm Evan. Today, we're tackling a question that might make you rethink how you spend each moment. Are we really making the most of our time?
It's so easy to just go through the motions, everyday work, eat, scroll through social media without really stopping to ask if we're using our time wisely.
Well, if I'm being honest, I think I spend a fair bit of time working and a lot of it scrolling on my phone or watching random shows. I guess not everything is super important, but it's just my routine.
Right, but let me be more specific. If you had to guess what % of your day is spent on what truly matters and what % is spent on unnecessary things.
Oh wow, I've never really thought of it that way. I guess maybe 30% on meaningful stuff and the rest. I can't believe it, but that might be 70% on things that don't really matter at all.
And that's the tricky part, right? Most of us spend a big chunk of our day on autopilot, filling our time with distractions we don't even notice. But here's a fact that puts it all into perspective. The average person only has around 40 weeks in a lifetime. If you're 40, you've already used up more than half of that.
That's a real wake-up call. I never realized just how short life really is.
That's why we're here to help you make the most of your time, not just manage it. We want you to walk away from this episode with a new perspective on what really matters.
Oh, before we dive in, we've got something special for you. This episode comes with a free PDF that not only sums up the key points we'll discuss, but also includes a comprehension quiz and grammar exercises.
That's right. The comprehension quiz will help you test how well you've understood today's discussion, and the grammar exercises will give you a chance to practice and improve your English skills. Don't miss out. Download it now from the link in the description. It's a great way to make your learning experience more interactive and fun.
All right, let's jump right in. Fatima, you ever notice how time felt so much slower when we were kids? Like, summer vacations seem to last forever, but now weeks just fly by.
I mean, sometimes I wake up thinking it's Monday, and before I know it, it's already Friday.
Oh, absolutely. Back then, 1 week felt like an entire year, and now years pass in a blink. There's actually a reason for that. It's called the time perception paradox.
That sounds deep. What's that about?
So basically, our brains measure time based on how many new experiences we record. When we were kids, everything was new places, new people, new things to learn, so our brains paid full attention. That made time feel slower. But as we grow older and fall into routines, our brains stop recording every little detail. The days blend together, and time feels like it's speeding up.
That makes sense. It's like when you drive to a new place, it feels longer because you're noticing everything. But once it becomes part of your routine, the drive feels much shorter.
Exactly. That's why, to stretch your sense of time, you've got to break out of your routines. Try taking a different route to work, pick up a new hobby, or do something spontaneous. It forces your brain to pay attention again.
Oh, I tried that last month. I signed up for a salsa class. I was terrible, but those 2 hours felt so fresh and exciting. It made that whole day feel longer.
And you know what really shortens our time? The illusion of someday. We tell ourselves, I'll do it someday, but that day rarely comes.
Someday is such a dangerous word. It's like this comfy couch of procrastination. It makes you feel safe, but it's also holding you back.
Totally. We keep waiting for the perfect time when we have more money, more energy, more motivation, but newsflash. The perfect time doesn't exist.
Yep, it's like waiting for all the traffic lights on your route to turn green before you leave the house. If you wait for perfect conditions, you'll never start.
Love that analogy. The best thing you can do is replace someday with a specific date. Even if it's something small, like setting a deadline to read that book or take the first step toward your goal, it makes it real.
Or better yet, just start today, no matter how tiny the step. Want to learn guitar? Watch one YouTube tutorial. Thinking about a fitness plan? Go for a 10-minute walk. It's the small actions that create momentum.
Speaking of momentum, I think one of the biggest game changers in time management is learning to prioritize what truly matters.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. There's always so much demanding our attention work, emails, notifications, and most of it feels urgent, but it's rarely important.
I came across something called the deathbed test, and it really changed how I think about my time.
Deathbed test? Sounds intense.
It's actually pretty simple. Imagine you're 90 years old, looking back at your life. Will those extra hours you spent on emails and work matter? Or will you cherish the time you spent with family, friends, and doing what you love?
Whoa, that hits hard. It really makes you think about what matters.
It does. And once you figure out your priorities, it gets easier to focus. I follow the top 3 priorities rule. Every morning I ask myself, what are the 3 most important things I need to focus on today? Those are my non-negotiables. Everything else is secondary.
And part of that is learning to say no to time wasters. Trust me, I've had my fair share of wasted afternoons scrolling on social media.
Oh, haven't we all? Social media is like this black hole for your time. You go in for just 5 minutes and suddenly it's been an hour.
Yep, and those distractions can drain your focus before you even realize it. One thing that helped me was identifying my top time wasters and setting limits.
Same here. I even turned off notifications for social apps, and it's been a game changer. Once I took back control of my time, I had so much more space for things that actually matter.
Which brings me to another big lesson. Invest your time in experiences, not things.
100%. Experiences stick with you forever, but things, not so much.
Exactly. I remember when I bought this expensive gadget I thought I had to have. It felt exciting for about 2 weeks, and then I barely used it. But I can still vividly remember the road trip I took with friends 2 years ago.
Same. I once spent a fortune on a designer bag that now just collects dust. Meanwhile, the weekend cooking class I took with my mom is one of my favorite memories.
That's the beauty of experiences. They create stories, not just possessions.
You know, Fatima, one of the biggest lessons I've learned about time is how we treat it compared to money. We obsess over saving money, but we often give away our time without a second thought.
Exactly. We wouldn't throw cash into a trash can, but we're fine wasting hours on things that don't matter. The crazy thing is, time is more valuable than money because you can never earn more of it.
Yep, I came across this concept called time wealth, which means having control over your schedule. It's not just about financial success, it's about having the freedom to spend your time the way you want.
That's huge. I had a friend who landed this high-paying job, but it came with 80-hour work weeks. Sure, she made a lot of money, but she couldn't enjoy it. She had no time for her family, hobbies, or even herself.
That's the trade-off, right? Sometimes earning more money means sacrificing valuable time. And before you know it, you're too exhausted to even enjoy what you've earned.
So true. The goal shouldn't just be financial success, it should be creating time freedom.
Yes, time is like a blank canvas. The more of it you control, the more you can paint the life you want.
Another game changer for me was mastering single tasking. I used to be proud of my multitasking skills until I realized it was just making me more stressed and less productive.
Oh, I've been there. I used to answer emails, cook dinner, and watch TV at the same time. The result? Burnt pasta and half-finished emails.
Same. It's like juggling. Eventually, you drop everything. But when I started focusing on one thing at a time, everything became easier and more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's like cooking a meal while being fully present. You savor each step, chopping, stirring, tasting, and it turns into this calming experience.
Exactly. When we're fully focused, we actually enjoy what we're doing and do it better.
Speaking of focus, have you ever tried keeping a time log?
Oh yeah. I thought I had a good sense of how I spent my time, but when I tracked it for a week, I was shocked. Turns out I spent way more time scrolling through my phone than I realized.
Same here. Most people think they're spending their time productively, but the reality can be very different. It's like tracking your expenses. You can't manage your time if you don't know where it's going.
Exactly. Keeping a time log for just a week can reveal patterns you never noticed, like how much time gets eaten up by small tasks or distractions.
And once you know those patterns, you can make adjustments. I found an extra hour a day just by cutting back on social media.
And let's not forget how important rest is. It's easy to think of rest as lazy or unproductive, but it's actually the opposite.
Totally. Rest is a productivity booster, not a waste of time. It's like recharging your phone. Without rest, you'll eventually crash.
I started adding downtime on my calendar just like I would for a meeting. It's made a huge difference in how focused and energized I feel.
That's smart. I've learned that regular reflection is just as important. Taking 10 minutes at the end of the day to ask, did I spend my time on things that matter, helps me stay aligned with my values.
And it prevents you from getting stuck in autopilot mode.
Lastly, I've realized how crucial it is to build time buffers.
Oh, buffers are lifesavers. I used to pack my schedule back to back with no breathing room. Then the smallest delay like traffic or a long meeting would throw off my entire day.
Same. Overscheduling is like stacking dominoes too close to gather one little nudge and everything collapses.
Exactly. Leaving unscheduled time gives you flexibility. It's space to rest, think, or just be spontaneous.
And that's where some of the best moments happen, when you leave room for life surprises.
So true. If we really want to spend our time wisely, it's not about cramming in as much as possible. It's about creating a life that feels balanced and meaningful.
So at the end of the day, it's not about how much time we have, it's about how we use it. If we focus on what truly matters, build time buffers, and make space for meaningful experiences, we can create a life we love.
Absolutely. And speaking of making life easier, it's time for our favorite part of the show, Charlotte's vocabulary section. Charlotte's here to break down some of the words and phrases we use today to help you understand and use them in your own conversation. There. I'm Charlotte, and I've got 10 great words and phrases for you today. Let's jump right in.
Time perception, meaning the way we sense and interpret how quickly or slowly time seems to pass. Example, your time perception changes when you're busy. It feels like the day flies by.
Time wealth, meaning having control over your schedule and time. Example, Jin values time wealth more than money. He wants to spend time with his family.
Trade-off, meaning giving up one thing to get something else. Example, the trade-off for living in a big city is dealing with heavy traffic.
Time freedom, the ability to choose how you spend your time. Example, having time freedom lets Sarah travel whenever she wants.
Multitasking, doing several tasks at once, usually with less focus. Example, multitasking while cooking can lead to burnt food.
Time log, a record of how you spend your time. Example, keeping a time log helped David reduce time-wasting activities.
Productivity booster, something that improves efficiency or focus. Example, a 10-minute walk can be a great productivity booster.
Downtime, time to rest or do something relaxing. Example, I always schedule some downtime on Sundays to recharge.
Time buffers, extra time left in your schedule for flexibility. Example, time buffers helped Lisa handle unexpected delays.
And finally, reflection, thinking back on your actions and choices to learn from them. Example, daily reflection helped Tom stay on track with his goals.
Try using these words in your daily life and watch how your vocabulary grows.
See you next time.
Thanks, Charlotte. That was awesome as always. Seriously, I'm already thinking about how I can add time buffers to my schedule.
Me too. And I'm definitely going to keep a time log this week. It's time to really see where my hours are going.
So before we wrap up, remember life is short, but that's what makes it precious. Spend your time on what truly matters.
And don't forget to make room for rest, reflection, and a little fun along the way.
If you want to revisit today's tips and exercises, download the free PDF linked in the description. It's full of practical advice and even a quiz to help you reflect on how you're spending your time.
Also, try this. Tonight before bed, take just 5 minutes to reflect. Ask yourself, did I spend my time on what matters today? It's a small habit with a big impact.
And here's a challenge for all our listeners. Choose one experience over a thing this week. Go for a walk with a friend, visit a new cafe, or try something creative.
Great idea. Experiences stay with us. They become part of our story.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, stay curious, stay intentional, and keep making every minute count.
Bye for now.
And remember, your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.
Whether it's a quick grammar tip or a deep conversation like today's, every step brings you closer to confidence.
Take care and keep learning smart.
Before we officially sign off, just remember you don't have to completely change your life overnight. Small steps really do lead to big change.
Exactly. Whether it's cutting 10 minutes from social media, spending 5 more minutes with your loved ones, or simply sitting in silence for a moment, these are powerful choices.
And if you feel overwhelmed, start with one tiny win. Just one thing that makes you feel like, yes, I did something for myself today.
I love that. Tiny wins build momentum, and momentum builds habits. Before you know it, you're designing the life you've always wanted.
And don't compare your journey to anyone else's. Your time is your time. Own it. Use it in a way that feels meaningful to you.
We're all running different races, so give yourself grace and celebrate your progress, no matter how small.
Oh, and if today's topic really resonated with you, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment or message us on social media. Tell us one-time habit you're working on this week.
We read every message, and we love seeing your growth and dedication. You're not just listeners, you're part of this English Leap family.
So, what's next for you? Maybe it's 5 minutes of journaling, calling a friend, or finally starting that project you've been putting off.
Whatever it is, do it with intention. And remember, you have more control over your time than you think.
Yes, and don't forget, every new word you learn, every small improvement in your schedulite, all adds up.
Speaking of learning, be sure to check out our other episodes and bonus content. We've got lots of topics that can help you grow, not just in English, but in mindset and productivity too.
And if you're enjoying the podcast, it really helps if you rate us or share this episode with a friend who knows it might be exactly what they need to hear today.
Thanks again for spending your time with Use It. Truly means a lot.
Until next time, stay mindful, stay motivated, and keep making every moment count.
Bye, everyone, and keep leaping forward.